Hello everyone and welcome back to One Soccer. I'm your host for today's episode, Josh Deming, and we are back with another episode of our Canadians Abroad series where each and every week we keep you guys up to date with all of our Canadians playing overseas. This week's update is going to be from April 6th until April 11th, so hopefully you guys are excited for it, and if you are, be sure to drop a like, drop a sub, and let's get into the update now. We're going to start things off by looking at the return of Alphonso Davies. Over the weekend, Davies was subbed into the match on the 57th minute, having 36 touches, 6 recoveries, and putting in the cross that ended up leading to the penalty that Lewandowski tucked away as Bayern beat Augsburg 1-0 to sit top of the table with a 22-3-4 record. Moving along now to France, we're going to take a look at Jonathan David, who over the weekend started and played 66 minutes as a striker in a 4-4-2 system. David only had 18 touches in the match, he had 2 shots and he had a 69% pass completion record. It was ultimately another frustrating night for both David and Lille as they drew Angers 1-1 to now sit with a record of 12-12-7 on 48 points, 7th place in the table. They are now 8 points off of the 3rd place Champions League spot. David has been scoreless in his last 5 matches for Lille and 8 matches in all competitions. We know Jonathan David is going to have a lot of interest over the summertime, so hopefully he can find a way to get his goal scoring form back so he can get the move that he's looking for. Sticking in France and taking a look at another striker who is doing it in Ligue 1, we're going to take a look at Ike Ugbo, who over the weekend started and played 82 minutes as a striker in a 5-4-1 system as Troyes lost 2-1 to Monaco. Ugbo was solid throughout the match, having an 83% pass completion record, 26 touches. He did miss one big chance, but he scored a beautiful striker's goal, holding up the ball at the top of the 18, fighting off a challenge, turning and smacking home a bullet off the post and in. Unfortunately, it wasn't enough to get anything from the match as Troyes sit 15th place with an 8-8-15 record on 32 points. They are now 5 points ahead of that 18th place, which is a relegation playoff spot. Moving along now to Belgium, we're going to take a look at Tajon Buchanan, who in the last match of the regular season for Club Brugge saw Tajon start and play all 90 minutes as a left wing back in a 3-5-2 system. Tajon had an 84% pass completion record, 3 shots, 50 touches, and was very active throughout the match as he usually is. Club Brugge went on to win 2-0 and finished the regular season in 2nd place with a 21-9-4 record on 72 points. It's been a really good fit for Tajon Buchanan. I still keep saying this, I'd like to see him play a little bit further up the pitch, but the fact that he's growing his game, playing a little bit more on the defensive side, and still getting involved in the attack is amazing to see this season for Club Brugge. Heading on over to England now, we're going to take a look at Junior Hoilett, who was in action over the weekend. Hoilett started as a left attacking mid in a 4-2-3-1 system, playing 60 minutes. He had an 88% pass completion record, 38 touches, 2 shots, as Reading unfortunately lost 2-1 to Cardiff to sit 21st in the table with a 12-7-22 record on 37 points. Only 8 points off of the 22nd place team Barnsley, which is the last relegation spot. Reading have found a bit of form coming up, which is good to see for Junior Hoilett, but they have to keep it up if they want to avoid the drop this season. Moving down a league now, we're going to take a look at Theo Corbeanu, who was in action once again over the weekend. He started from the bench and was subbed into the match on the 60th minute, and he was very involved down the right-hand side. Theo had 4 shots, 36 touches, and won 2 fouls, helping MK Dons pick up a draw against Wimbledon. They now sit 2nd in the table with a 24-11-7 record, 3 points ahead of Rotherham, who do have 2 games in hand. However, it's quite an achievement seeing MK Dons climb the table the way that they have, and if they can see this pace out, they may have a chance of getting automatic promotion. Stopping on over in the Netherlands, we're going to take a look at Charles-Andreas Brym, who was in action once again over the weekend. He started and played 88 minutes as a dual cam in a 3-4-2-1 system, as Eindhoven went on to win 3-0. Brym was excellent throughout the match, having 57 touches on the ball, 6 shots, scoring 2 goals, and walked away with the man of the match. Eindhoven sit 3rd place in the table with a 19-7-8 record, 4 points off of the 2nd automatic promotion place. Moving on over now to the 2nd Bundesliga, we're going to take a look at Scott Kennedy, who unfortunately has lost his starting role in recent weeks to Helvetii. Kennedy started on the bench and was subbed into the match on the 83rd minute to try to help his side see out the match. Jan Regensburg went on to draw the match 1-1 to sit 10th in the table with a 10-8-11 record. Kennedy will be hoping to regain his best form and fight back into the starting 11 because if he wants a shot at starting for the Canadian men's national team in this upcoming World Cup, he's going to have to find regular game time a little more easier to come by. Heading back now to Belgium, we're going to take a look at the 2nd Division and Liam Fraser, who started over the weekend and played all 90 minutes as a CDM in a 4-2-3-1 system, as Dians went on to lose the match 2-1 and they sit 3rd place in the table with a 9-12-6 record with 1 final match to be played in the regular season. Liam Fraser has broken right into this team and is getting a ton of game time, which is really good to see, keeping him in good shape leading up to the World Cup. Heading on over to Greece now, we're going to take a look at Cornelius, who over the weekend was in action, and he started and played all 90 minutes as a left back in a 4-5-1 system. Panathinaikos went on to lose the match 3-2, and with that result, they sit with a 9-5-15 record, and they are in 4th place in the Greek relegation group. This is yet another frustrating result for Panathinaikos, who have lost their first 3 matches of the relegation group, and they've lost all the matches to the 3 bottom teams in the table. I'm hoping to see Cornelius move back to the center back position because I believe that's where he's at his best, playing the last couple matches as a left back. This has been the worst possible start for Panathinaikos, so they would be looking to shake some things up to try to find a way to get back to winning ways. Moving along now to Norway, we're going to take a look at Julian Dunn, who was in action over the weekend. He started and played 45 minutes as a center back in a 3-4-3 system, having 18 touches, 3 clearances, and 1 block shot, as HamCam went on to lose 2-1 in the match, and they sit 13th place in the table with a 0-1-1 record. There was another Canadian who featured for HamCam over the weekend, as Milan Borjan came off the bench on the 81st minute to try to help them find an equalizer. Pretty cool to see a couple young Canadians featuring for HamCam. Stopping over now in Portugal, we're going to take a look at Stefan Eustaquio, who him and Porto had some history to be made, as over the weekend Steph started on the bench and was subbed on in the 90th minute to help Porto hold on to a 1-0 win over Vitória de Guimarães. They now sit in first place with a 25-4-0 record, 6 points ahead of Sporting, and setting a new Portuguese top flight record of 57 consecutive matches in a row without defeat, overtaking Benfica's previous record of 56 matches. Such an incredible achievement from FC Porto, and they are on pace right now to go the entire season undefeated. I'd like to see Steph get a little bit more minutes, but still really cool to see him be a part of this incredible side. Taking a look now at Richie Ennin, who started over the weekend. He started as a striker in a 3-4-3 system, playing 90 minutes as Nizhny Novgorod went on to lose 2-1 to Dynamo Moscow. Ennin had 30 touches, 1 shot, and was 3 for 3 on successful take-ons, as Nizhny Novgorod now sit in 11th place with a 7-6-11 record. Scotland is our next destination, where we're going to take a look at Harry Paton, who had some pretty cool news as he featured in his 100th appearance for Ross County over the weekend, starting the match as a center attacking mid in a 4-2-3-1 system, playing 76 minutes as Ross County went on to win 1-0 over Aberdeen. Paton had 36 touches in the match, he drew 3 fouls, had 2 take-ons, and 4 recoveries, as Ross County sit 5th place in the table with a 10-10-13 record. This was really impressive from Ross County, who at one stage in this season sat in dead last place in the basement of the table. To fight their way up and have a top 6 finish is absolutely remarkable. Harry Paton's had his ups and downs this season, but it's really cool to see him be a part of this special team. Moving along now to Serbia, we're going to take a look at Milan Borjan, who did not feature over the weekend. However, it was the final match of the regular season, and Red Star went on to win 4-1 to finish in first place. It was one of the best title races in Europe leading up until this championship round. Red Star finished with a 26-3-1 record on 81 points, and Partizan finished in second place with a 25-4-1 record on 79 points. Red Star closed out the regular season winning 10 consecutive matches in a row, and there's some speculation that needs to be had about Borjan's future. With Borjan not featuring in this match, there's some speculation about his future. There's been some interest in him in the past, and now there's rumors that there's a couple offers on the table, so we're going to have to take a look if one of those offers are going to potentially take him out of Serbia. Moving along now to Serbia, we're going to take a look at Stefan Mitrovic, who was in action over the weekend. He started and played 90 minutes as a right wing in a 4-3-3 system, as Renishkinish lost 2-0 to finish the regular season in 6th place in the top half of the table, going on to the championship round with a 9-13-8 record on 40 points. Steph had a really strong season, finishing the regular season with an impressive 8 goals. It's really cool to see this young player take his game to the next level. The nice thing with him as well is he had the opportunity to play in a variety of different positions, and he's really found a home out on that right-hand side, playing as a right wing in those usual 4-3-3 systems. So if the Canadian men's national team is going to come looking at a potential winger, it's nice to know that they have one playing at a pretty competitive level in Serbia, so we're going to have to see what Steph's future brings. Stopping on over in Switzerland now, we're going to take a look at Liam Miller, who over the weekend started and played 90 minutes as a left attacking mid in a 4-2-3-1 system. Miller had 2 key passes, a 75% pass completion record, 1 shot, 47 touches, and scored a beautiful equalizer. He ran down at the defender before cutting onto his right foot and smashing home a beautiful curling effort that saw Basel draw the match 2-2. With that result, Basel now sits second in the table with a 13-13-3 record on 52 points. Liam Miller is a perfect example of a player who got a transfer and has thrived from it. Making this move to Basel has seen Miller just hit all kinds of new levels, playing very consistently, scoring goals, goal contributions, and he's obviously a part of the Canadian men's national team. I would like to see him potentially get a little bit more starts for Canada. I think this player is very, very special, and I'm really impressed to see what he's doing in Switzerland this season. Moving along to Turkey now, we're going to take a look at Mr. Consistency himself, Samuel Adekugbe, who on Monday started and played all 90 minutes as a left back in a 4-2-3-1 system. Hatayspor lost 4-1 to Antalyaspor. In that match, Adekugbe had 2 interceptions, 2 clearances, 50 touches, and an 88% pass completion record, as Hatayspor now sit 8th place in the table with a 14, 6, and 12 record. Hatayspor has really been a surprise package in Turkey this season. It looked like at one point they were going to be a top 3 side. They've shifted down the table a little bit, but Samuel Adekugbe has really taken this opportunity to take his game to the next level. He's sharpened up the defensive side of the game, and he's added this attacking element that just was not there before. When Alphonso Davies was out, he even represented Canada at that left back position and just did Alphonso proud. It's been really good to see. I know that the results haven't been going his way in the last few weeks, but Adekugbe has been absolutely sensational this season and is still, in my opinion, a shout at the left back of the season in Turkey. Moving on over to St. Johnstone, we have some good news and we have some bad news. Starting with the good news though, it is an injury update and it is David Wotherspoon. He had a horrific ACL injury happen back in November, and a mere 4 months later, he's already back, he's in training, he's got smiles all around, which is great to see for the Canadian men's national team and our supporters, which begs the question, if he does get back to his best, is he going to have an opportunity to play in the World Cup? He was a part of the squad through World Cup qualifyings up until the window. It's the brotherhood field. There's some other players that have come in. It's going to be very interesting to see how David Wotherspoon does. But regardless, it's great to see a depth player coming back, and hopefully he can find some game time at St. Johnstone before the end of the season. Moving along now to the bad news for St. Johnstone. They got absolutely thrashed over the weekend against Celtic. The only good thing that was coming from the match was the fact that Theo Bair came on for the final 26 minutes. He did not have much of an impact, but to be fair, no one in that match for St. Johnstone had any impact, as they now sit in 11th place with a 7, 9, and 17 record on 30 points as the regular season comes to an end, leading into the relegation group. Now we are going to move on to some notable absentees who did not feature over the weekend. We're going to start in Turkey and we're going to go over to Besiktas to take a look at the Besiktas boys, Larin and Hutchinson. Larin was not in the matchday squad, and Atiba was an unused sub as Besiktas went on to win 4-1 in the match, and with that result, they move up to 7th place in the table with a 13, 11, and 8 record on 50 points. Moving along to England now, we're going to take a look at Nottingham Forest and Richie Laryea. This is a storyline that us Canadian men's national team fans get so frustrated by. Richie Laryea has completed his move over to Nottingham, but he has not yet stepped foot on the pitch for Nottingham Forest. It has been absolutely crazy considering the amazing things he has done on the left-hand and right-hand side of the back 3 or back 4 for the Canadian men's national team. He can't get a sniff in this Nottingham Forest team. To be fair though, they are playing some incredible football as they're sitting in 4th place in the table with a 19, 10, and 10 record on 67 points. They're only 6 points back of Bournemouth, which is the 2nd place automatic promotion spot up to the Premier League. Richie was an unused sub at the weekend as it's been difficult for him to try to break into this system. They play in the 3-4-1-2 system. Spence has been the right wing back locked down. Lowe has been on the left hand side on the left wing back, and when he hasn't been there, it's now been Colback. So it's very interesting to see that someone who's played center mid for so many years, he's a lefty, he's been pushed over to this left wing back spot, is keeping Laryea out. The watch will continue, but we're hoping at one point before the end of the season, he will make his debut for Nottingham Forest. Now usually at this point, we keep you guys updated with our Canadian women playing abroad, but because it's a special group and they brought home the gold medal at the Olympics, they get to go on their celebration tour. They played their first match of the celebration tour against Nigeria on Friday, and they won that 2-0 with a good, classy performance with goals for Canada from Fleming as well as Zadorski.
Sinclair, great pass forward, a chance for Canada. Element of surprise has got it, set it, and a goal! Can they get their second here? Again from Becky. Drifting was Buchanan. Heightham a first touch, and it's Vanessa Shield to clean it up, and Canada does get their second goal.
In the second match for Canada against Nigeria, Nigeria said they were going to come out and make this a much more competitive match. They did just that with the final score being a 2-2 draw.
Out. Payne goes over the head of Heightham, it's loose in the box. Buchanan can't get there, and Nigeria cleans it up. Make things difficult, Canada succeeds. Sinclair's got a wide open goal, she's gonna try and chip! And it's in, off the post! Christine Sinclair ties the match! 189 international goals, and Canada is level with Nigeria. Ajibade in behind everybody, it bounces and it's in! For Becky, does well to stay on side. Now the cross comes. 4 people to claim it, headed on, and your equalizing goal!
That's all the time we have here on One Soccer for this week's Canadians Abroad update. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it, and if you did, as always, be sure to drop a like, drop a sub. We are on the road for 50,000 subscribers. So be sure to hit the subscribe button, and this is the #1 place to stay up to date with all things Canadian soccer. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. My name is Josh, and we'll see you guys next time. Cheers, friends.